All right, we're going to start by opening our coaster where we left off yesterday. And what we're going to do is, so I just hid those planes by hitting P. That way we just have our item here, right? And we're going to create a new part to this file. So this will be our coaster, and then this will become our pretty much our folder for our entire project. So right here where it says Part Studio 1, I'm just going to rename this by right-clicking and changing rename. I'm just going to name it Coaster really quick here. And then I'm going to hit this plus down here and insert new element. And I'm going to hit Create Part Studio. And it's going to create a new part for me within the same file. So same thing here. I won't have to reshare it, nothing like that. Right? Everything is ready to go. And I'm going to rename this to Holder. So we have our coaster, then we have our coaster holder. And our coaster holder is going to be very similar to our coaster, but it'll have dowels, which are cylindrical pieces of wood, sticking up, and that's what holds them in place. So to start, we're going to draw essentially the same coaster. So I'm going to start with my sketch tool, click on my front plane, and I'm going to move through this quickly because we really don't need to explain it again because we already have our coaster. So I'm going to click on the rectangle tool, click on my origin, move up and click, and I'm just going to type 3.5 by 3.5 and hit enter. Okay, so I'll hit that green check to end the sketch, and we're going to extrude it the same way. So essentially, whenever you make your set of coasters in real life, you're going to create 5 because the last one is going to be your holder, and then 4 will be used as coasters. So I'm going to extrude this out 0.325, the same as what we did on the past coaster. All right, so hit the green check mark. You know what? We might have made that 0.375, huh? Let's double check it. It is 0.375, not 0.325. So I'm going to change this back, sorry, to 0.375 on that extrusion, not 325. All right, and what we're going to do is now edit on this face. So I don't want to put the chamfer on there like I did the coaster because we're going to need it to be flat so that we can take measurements from these reference edges around it. So I'm going to look at this straight on, and now for the first time we're going to create a sketch on the front of our part. So I clicked New Sketch, and then I'm going to click on the top of that part in order to draw on it. So now I'm not sketching on the same plane as where that coaster came from, but rather I'm sketching on top of it. And I'm going to create a circle, center point circle, and I'm going to move over and I'm just going to draw it right around here. And we're going to type in here, we need this to be 3/8. And if I type a fraction, you'll see it converts it to a decimal. So we're going to make that circle 0.375. So to create a circle, you just click. So I'll do it down here again. Right? Click again, and then you can type. You don't have to click where that number is. So you just type 0.375 and hit enter. All right, so right now I have 2 circles, and we need to place 4 total circles, but I'm only going to do 2. And I'm going to line them up, and then I'll show you how to mirror it over to the other side to make it a lot easier, right? Because we need the same thing over here too. So to position this, I'm going to move it 3/8 of an inch from the top and 3/8 of an inch from the side, right? So I'm going to grab my dimension tool. So I can hit D on my keyboard, or I can click up here, dimension tool. And I'm going to click on the center of the circle and the left side of my rectangle. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to type 0.375 and hit enter. All right, so now that the center of this circle is 3/8 of an inch from the left side of this reference. Then I'm going to click with my dimension tool. I'm going to click on the center of this circle and the top of my part. And I'm going to say I want this to be 0.375 from the top. All right, and it's going to position this in an exact location that we need it. Okay, so I'm going to grab my dimension tool again and do the same thing down here. Click the center point of the circle in the bottom of my part, 0.375. And then I'm going to click on the center point of this circle in the left side again and make that 0.375. All right, so you can simply do this, and you can do it over here 3-4 times, that's fine. Or what you can do is grab what's called a construction line right here. And I'm going to find the center point of this part right here, and I'm going to draw a construction line right down the center. Oh, sorry, you have to click on construction and then line. So I'm going to click on the center point and then move it down and click on that center point. So what I've created is this is where the halfway point of this part is. So if I want to mirror something and put it in the exact same location but on the opposite side of this line, I can use the mirror tool up here, and it says select mirror line. So this becomes our line. This is our center point. Select entities. I'm going to click on the outside of this circle, and you'll see it moves it over there. And then click on the outside of this circle, and it does the same. I'm going to hit the check mark, and now I have where our dowels will go in real life, right, drawn on this part. So if I rotate out, you can see in the sketch itself, right, there are circles. So I'm going to grab my extrude, but instead of extruding, right, we can extrude out from our part. And what we're going to do is we're going to extrude these out 1.5. Right, and that'll create our dowels that stick out of the top of our part. So I'll hit my green check, right, and there is our coaster holder, right? And actually, if we didn't sketch it on the front, we could have put it on the top, and then we could have placed our coasters in it, right? So I'm going to change the color here. And I'm going to change the color from the bottom in these dowels so that they're two different browns. So what I'm going to do is hit Add Face Appearance. And I'm going to click on this dowel, this dowel, this dowel, and this dowel. And I'm going to say I want these to be darker brown. I'm going to click on the tops of these two. I want these to be darker brown. Okay? And I'll hit the green check. And then I'm going to change under part 1 to a lighter brown, just so that you can see a little bit of contrast. All right, and you should have already shared it with me. You don't have to share it again, but this is going to give us the dimensions we need to create our parts. All right, so whenever you're finished, that is it for OnShape creating the coaster. So we have the coaster here and the holder here. Good luck. You can always go back in the video if you need any help. If you didn't share it yet, make sure you hit that share. Go to Teams, select your period, and then change it from Can Edit to Can View and hit share.